This broadcast is a Stephen K. Media production.
The success of the small business person is the cornerstone of the American economy. Welcome to the Small Business Today Show with your hosts, Cruz and Hughes. The Small Business Today Show is for and about small business advancement and development. What we do for you. We'll be taking your calls as we provide you small business intelligence and mentorship needed to grow your business creatively. Keep listening. The Small Business Today Show with Cruz and Hughes starts now.
Hello and welcome back to a new year, an all-new episode of Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes right here on Blog Talk Radio. It feels good to be right back in the studio and talking to our favorite people, all the small businesses that listen to this show. Guys, this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. And if you want to join the conversation and do something different for the new year, pick up the telephone, give us a call. You can reach us at 347-857-3958. Again, that number here to this studio is 347-857-3958. Irv, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
How have you been?
Man, been great, man. Look, you know what? I just came off of a great holiday break and did everything that I could possibly find to do without interruption.
Really?
That's right.
Well, you've had some time to do all of those things.
That's right. I did a load of things, man.
How does it feel to be back?
It feels great to be back. You know what? I missed you guys. I'm going to tell you right now, man, I missed you guys. I missed all of our listeners. I missed my good friend John Cruz. And guess what? A real special kickoff to the year because we got our good friend Bertrand McHenry in studio live with us today, folks.
Absolutely.
And so if you're watching us on Ustream.tv, remember you can always go to cruzandhughes.com. You can actually see what we're doing here in the studio. And for those of you who are listening around the country, if you are on the Android platform, don't forget you can certainly go to the Google Play Store, download our free app that will allow us to go with you each and every day wherever you go and hear our show broadcast live on our broadcast app. And you can search for us, go to the Google Play Store, and you can search for Small Business Today Radio, and you'll be able to download and install that app.
Well, and we would be remiss if we did not say Happy New Year to our engineer extraordinaire, Mr. Stephen K. He doesn't have his microphone on today, so I just thought I'd poke a little fun at him.
That's probably a good thing, because, Stephen fires back at you.
Oh, man, he looks like he's got a lot on his mind. He wants to do some talking, but just not today.
Not today.
But anyway, we're going to start the year off right. We brought a great guest in. For those of you who do not remember Mr. Bertrand McHenry, Bertrand is a national best-selling author of the book called The Only Business Book You'll Ever Need. And with that title alone, you should go out and buy it. Bertrand is also the president of the Main Street Chamber of Bay Area Houston, and he is the president of his own company called the Referral Institute of Houston. Now, some of you are probably thinking, what qualifies Bertrand to sit up here with two professionals such as Cruz and Hughes? Well, I'm going to tell you what does. The Referral Institute of Houston educates small business owners on how to build sales for their businesses using referral marketing strategies. We're going to talk a little bit about that here in the first segment. Now, Bertrand has more than 22 years experience in outside sales, and his business and sales philosophies have been quoted on yahoofinance.com, miamiherald.com, morningstar.com. I'm not done. CSNBC.com. and CBS Money Watch. So in short, Bertrand is somebody that we listen to here on Cruz and Hughes, and we encourage you not only to listen to his philosophies and strategies, but more importantly, apply them into your small business to have a great and outstanding 2013. Bertrand, we want to say welcome back to the show, my friend.
Hey, thanks, John. I was going to ask you, could you just run through those credentials one more time? I feel 10 feet tall.
Hey, well, I can only tell the truth, my friend. I can only tell the truth. You know what? We're so happy to start the year off with you. You're our first guest for 2013.
Hey, that's awesome.
And we're going to ask that you hang around with us for a couple days.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you guys, there's going to be a lot of business knowledge spilled over on this show. So Bertrand's going to stay with us for a couple days. We're going to ask him some things, ask some questions. Definitely get in the chat room. If you have a question, Stephen K. is standing by to make certain that our attention is directed at your questions. If you like, you can give us a phone call here in the studio at 347-857-3958. Again, that number is 347-857-3958. 3958, and you can ask Bertrand your question live on the air. Let's start out with the Referral Institute of Houston.
Okay.
And let's talk a little bit about, in your own words, what your business does and how did you get into that business?
Okay. What my business does, that's a great question. My business is a training organization. We teach business owners and entrepreneurs how to develop entire customized referral marketing strategies that lead to a steady stream of personally recommended business, which is different than just leading to a stream of referrals.
So they're not synonymous.
They're not synonymous necessarily, not at all. In this day and age, networking and referral marketing are terms that are kicked around really loosely. You know
Right.
what I'm
That's
talking
right.
about. And most people kind of know what they mean, but they really have their own definition for what that means, because you can go out to any mixer any night of the week. In Houston is a huge networking
Boy, you
community.
got that right.
There is a networking event 2 or 3 every evening.
Right.
You could go to any of those and just run around and hand out business cards and collect business
Sure.
cards and believe that you've actually done some networking or
Sure.
referral marketing.
Right.
You could even have some great conversations with a lot of people and feel like you've done something. But what is the system that allows referral marketing to be what I call a hard-edged economic driver in your business that will actually drive your numbers forward? That's what we do.
Wow.
So now that's not to be clear, Bertrand. That's not advertising.
Right.
Yeah, it's we here at Small Business Today Radio, of course, we have advertisers.
Mm-hmm.
But what you do is not advertising in the context that most of us small business owners would understand it, where we've got a billboard out or we've got a radio ad or a TV ad. That's not what you're talking
That's
about.
not what I'm talking about. Although I will say, I think business owners and entrepreneurs need to engage in all of it.
Sure.
But referral marketing is just an area where people have a misconception about, and they don't engage in it the right way, because it can be extremely powerful. Well, I've got people who have doubled and tripled their income in a 12-month period using referral marketing systems.
And who doesn't want that
Who
going
doesn't
on?
want that?
Well, and you and I talk about all the time,
Sure.
in lieu of loans.
Right.
And in lieu of investor capital.
That's right.
You would do well to just get more business.
You would do well just to get more business. Let's be honest, John. I mean, Bertrand, the name of the game is sales.
Right.
Right.
And boy, I tell you what you're saying, Bertrand, is this needs to be part of the overall marketing mix of things.
Mm-hmm.
Not any one thing is going to determine, well, this one thing is going to make me successful in my marketing scheme, or this one thing is going to make me successful in my marketing scheme, but perhaps all of that mixed together and you figuring out what works. Now, my question for you is, do you guys help people figure out what that is? Do you give them any tips on, well, if you're being taught how to, I guess, monetize your referral marketing and so on, how that ties in with advertising, or is that not something you
Oh, yeah, that's for sure something we do. In fact, a lot of what I do is sales training. And because you said it, a lot of people are attracted to referral marketing training or networking because they have what I call sales aversion.
Yeah.
They've got a fear
Right.
of selling, and they think this is the nicer, fluffier way to go. And the truth is that in the end, even if you get a high-level referral, you're still going to have to say, will that be cash or credit?
Sure, absolutely.
You're still going to have to ask the
Absolutely.
closing question. And so we talk a lot about those concepts because I find some markers in entrepreneurs and bootstrappers over and over and over. And one of those things is that they don't like to sell.
Yeah.
Guess what?
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, it's
There's
a
no getting around
bad
it.
4-letter word you're using. FDLL.
Well, and it's kind of like playing professional sports. Nobody likes to practice.
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
But I mean, it's the practice. I'm not going to use the cliche practice makes perfect, because it doesn't.
Right.
But practice, I think, prepares you for what happens in the real life situation.
Right.
It helps prepare you to take advantage of the opportunities that exist in the game. Selling is the same way. It's part of small business. You cannot be an entrepreneur without incorporating sales.
Right.
Well, I don't, I'm a small business, but I don't sell nothing.
Well, then you're not a small business. I don't know what you are, but it's definitely not a small business.
Let me tell you what, folks. If you have ever said that, don't let anyone here on this show hear that you're an owner of a small business and you don't sell something. All right? You are in the business of selling.
Because
all
we
right?
will come after you.
Absolutely.
If your business doesn't sell a product or a service, guess what you have? A sick bird. Your business is illegal.
You are pro bono as well.
Well, you know, I mean, even at we're talking about referral marketing, even at the end of the line with referral marketing, and I was talking earlier, you get a high-level referral that's almost closed. You still have to close that. You still have to close that
Sure.
deal. You may have to do a little bit of work to close the deal. You've got to make your own relationship. Even though your partner has taken it a long way down that road, you still have to sell. And I remember years ago hearing a Sandler sales trainer say, hey, listen, can we all just agree on one thing? If you weren't in front of a prospect today, you weren't in business.
That's right.
Boy, that's true.
I agree with that. I
That's
definitely
totally
agree.
true.
You know, Bertrand, I know you didn't come here to just talk about yourself. I mean,
Right.
you gave me some other topics that you wanted to discuss
Right.
and do some teaching. But the way I look at it, look, we got you for about, 3 days?
That's
3
right,
days
man.
left in the week.
That's right.
But I think referral marketing and understanding what a referral is very important, because some people really don't understand, number one, how to value or how valuable a referral is. Because I'll tell you, I have talked to people and someone is giving me a referral.
Yep.
And let's say that somebody who makes suits, you know, and I wear suits every day. And then I call the guy and he doesn't call me back for 7, 8, 10 days.
Yeah.
Man. By the time he calls me back, I forgot what I called him about.
Isn't that insane?
That is crazy
I
to
think
me.
so, too.
So we're going to take a short break. When we come back, I want to touch on the power of referrals, how they should be viewed in terms of their value or their worth to a small business person. Because for me as a small business, I live for the referral.
Absolutely. We all do.
Yeah.
Our guest today is Mr. Bertrand McHenry. If you'd like to connect with Bertrand, you can do so by going to his business website, which is www.referralinstituteofhouston.com. Again, that's referralinstituteofhouston.com. Please connect with him. Poke around the site, find his number, and definitely give him a call. Guys, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes, which is brought to you by Small Business Today magazine, the magazine that's for and about Houston's entrepreneurs. To get your free copy, go to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. Put your information in. We'll send you one free every month. Stay with us. We'll return in just a moment.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, Is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruiseandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. If you've just joined in, you've missed a great segment. We encourage you to go to cruiseandhughes.com and make certain that you always listen to these shows in our archives in their entirety, because we always dispel great information for small business owners. Our guest today is Mr. Bertrand McHenry. Bertrand is the president of a company called the Referral Institute of Houston. In the first segment, we spent a little time talking about what the Referral Institute of Houston does, but I wanted to sort of touch on the value of a referral, how difficult a referral is to get. And in your own words, Bertrand, how should the referral be approached by a small business owner?
That is a multi-layered question.
Yes, it is.
Because I can meet you tonight and get this feeling that we've got some belief in each other. We've got some credibility with each other, and pass something that's called a referral,
right?
Which is really just, here's a name. Oh, here you're looking for somebody. Here's a name and a number. Tell him I said call.
Right.
And people pass those, hundreds of those a day, as if
Sure.
those are referrals.
Sure.
Now those are connections, but they're not referrals. They're not even great connections. They're more of leads. That's more of a
Gotcha.
lead kind of
Yeah.
a situation. But when you're talking about referral marketing, it becomes kind of sacred for me, because I don't talk about trashy referrals. I talk about building networks of people that you can help, that you are motivated to help,
Sure.
that you wouldn't mind getting trained to help.
Right.
I'd love to sit in a room and find out all about your business, what a good qualified prospect is for
Gotcha.
you, what their conversation looks like as I'm qualifying that person, what are their hot spots for you, and then how you'd like to have that appointment set up, because I would like to set the appointment up. I would ideally love to be in the room, three people over coffee or lunch or something like that, and facilitate that introduction. So I can say, Herb, the reason why I want you to meet John, and vice versa. And so you both get blessed with our relationship.
Sure.
So it kind of takes it down the road a ways.
Now I'm gonna tell you, one of the things that you said that jumps off the page to me is basically asking closing questions.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of what you do in your referral marketing is helping you to find individuals who would go that extra mile for your business.
Absolutely. Otherwise, you're just going wide with a bunch of acquaintances who aren't necessarily motivated to get out of their comfort zone and help you. Here's my saying: you need people who are willing to get out of their boat.
Oh, wow.
And storm the beach on your behalf on a regular basis, because we all row our own boat.
That's true.
We're so focused on rowing our own boat to our destination.
Sure.
I don't think about anybody else during the day except my wife, my family, and my friends.
Yeah.
That's right.
So why don't you put your network in the group where your friends are at?
Yeah.
So that you're thinking about those people on a regular basis. And the way I teach my classes, and the last year I've been saying this, I say, who is it that you think about most often during the day? One or two hands, my wife, my kids.
Right.
And who else? My friends. Right. Those are the people that you love.
Right.
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 So
That's
if
right.
you love those people, they're top of mind.
Sure.
You're more willing to go take a class and get trained on how to bring them a solid referral that will actually bring them some business. And if you've got enough of those people in your life, you're starting to develop a steady stream of personally recommended business, which is different than referrals. Networking than business cards. Those are cheap, and I've had people do the cool thing where they open up the phone. Who do you need to meet? Scroll through here. Call this guy, and tell him I said call. And maybe 5% of them even know who you're talking about when you call them.
Yes,
you know what I'm talking about?
That's exactly
but it's
right.
that movie thing of I know a guy. Hey, I
Sure,
know a guy.
right. My phone's full of them.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
But referral marketing takes a lot more love and care. It takes a lot more effort to set it up. But when you develop a network of people that you can serve and who eventually will serve you, you're doing work and life in the same breath.
Now, Bertrand, you're touching on some really key points here, and I want to ferret out one of them, because one of the things that you talked about was the people you think about, the people who are top of mind.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly friends are top of mind, especially when you're in business.
Absolutely.
Right? The people that you do business with, people that, whether you're even doing business with them directly or not, they're friends of yours, even if you don't necessarily cross their path, so to speak, in business. But here's the thing, Bertrand, there are a lot of people who believe that they shouldn't do business with friends for fear that they're going to lose their friendship somehow.
Mm-hmm.
What do you say to that guy?
Well, we're not talking about that's a personal decision. We're not talking about doing business or going into business with friends.
Okay.
We're talking about creating a network of people that you can serve for ideally years to come, and who eventually will help you as well, right?
Who will reciprocate.
Reciprocate. You hope. You can't go into it with that seed in your head. I'm picking this guy because
he's going to do something for
But
me.
there are some criteria. One of them is they've got to be have access to your target market.
Sure.
They've got to be swimming in the pool that you want access to.
I like that.
Okay. But the last one for me, and there's 5 others, but the last one that I added is I've got to have a reasonable chance to like this person a lot.
Yeah.
Because this is just me. I want to stitch up my world so that I'm doing work and play.
Sure.
And
Time.
It's seamless. So
Yeah.
I'm living out my life with friends, and we're doing business and living, and it's hard to tell the difference when you're working.
Well,
when you're playing.
that's huge right there, Bertrand, because I got to tell you, in my career, in my business career, one of the things that I found that's been so stressful is trying to work with people that you don't necessarily like, and they don't like you.
It's very difficult to do.
That is extremely difficult.
At least for me.
Yeah, because you've literally got to set some of that aside.
Yeah.
And then anything they say or do
irritates you.
It's irritating.
Yeah, it irritates the hell out of you. I mean, and even if I got to call the guy for a referral, I got to take a deep breath. I'm like, oh man, I got to call.
And in this model, I mean, are you comfortable sending a referral to a guy like that, even though he might be a very skilled individual?
Right.
But you don't like the guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable doing that?
No.
I know I'm not.
No.
I'm just. It's not something I would do.
And the way that you're talking about your classes, you feel that you can teach all entrepreneurs this skill.
I can teach all of them as long as they're willing. Now, some of them come in and their statement to me is, I don't have time to do all this. My job is not to convince you that you got to switch your ways.
Sure.
I am speaking what I'm speaking, and those who are ready for that message will come to my class, and I'm not worried about the rest of them. In fact, I've had people who are making $250,000, $300,000 a year come and start asking me questions about this and have a problem with it, and I say, "What are you making?" I'm making $300,000 a year, doing it the way I'm doing it. And my answer is, don't let me mess you up.
Yeah.
If you like the way you're doing it and you're successful, you probably don't need this.
Yeah.
But there's a large segment of the population who love doing business this way.
Sure.
And don't know how to do it properly. They think they're engaging in real referral marketing, and they're really just skimming the surface and burning relationships off.
Well, see, I'm wondering, to me, Bertrand, if somebody walks up to me and they tell me, I've heard about Referral Institute, I heard about what you do, I make a good living doing it the way I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, if you're making $300,000, $400,000, $500,000 a year doing it the way you're doing it, and then you can add this, wouldn't that take you to $1 million or $1.5 million? To me, adding a skill, I think ought to translate to some increase in income, not necessarily somebody just staying right where they are.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I think sometimes the worst thing that could ever happen to any of us is that we experience a little success doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what you're saying is that, this could really be a breakthrough to something bigger and better.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you're making nothing, this can definitely help you make something.
Sure.
And if you're making something, this incorporating this could put you in a position to make some more.
Right.
Sure.
And I agree with that, but I also know this, is that there are some people out there who are by nature transactional.
Yeah.
And they're not relational, and they won't ever be relational.
Yeah.
And this is not for them. There are some people, though, who are transactional by training, because that's the way the sales world has always been.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And they're willing to do this. And if you got the sales skills and you learn this, it's unstoppable, because like I said before, people are you still need to and so there's shades of referrals. We got shade 1. Shade 1 is, here's this guy's card. You call him, tell him I said call. That's
Okay.
a lead.
Yeah.
But we put it in that mix. Shade 10 is I deliver a deal to you that's done, pretty much. You just need to call this person, sit down with them, but they're willing to do business
So
with
you at that point, you need to just not blow it.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, and if you look at the
Just
sales
don't
model,
blow
the
it.
sales model, the traditional sales model is a pyramid.
Sure.
And the at the bottom is a small sliver where you build rapport, where you walk in the door and go, Teamwork Ready. You're with Teamwork Ready? I used to be part of a team too. We got something in common. It's pretty all right, let's move right to the sale.
Right.
Remember those days? You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Sure.
So in the referral model, you spend much, much more time building relationship, real relationship.
Right.
And when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about what have you done to serve that person,
Sure.
to make deposits into that relationship
Sure.
on a regular basis. And then you spend the rest of the time, but you're tipping them over because
Right.
it's inverted.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
very easy. It's not a close so much as
Gotcha.
a tip.
Gotcha.
I love that when you say making deposits into that relationship,
Mhm.
and I think that the very fact of the word relationship calls for you to have to do something to develop it,
Mhm.
to grow it, and
Mhm.
it does take some work. It
Yep.
just doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
So,
Right.
and I would think that that is probably one of the things that would make some people shy away from, because and sometimes a relationship calls for you to go first.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
And with no guarantee that the other person is going to reciprocate.
Well, if it's me, if I'm the referral marketer, I'm assuming I'm going first. I'm not going to.
And I'm going to go first on as many
Right.
people as I possibly can.
Right.
You know, and those that will respond will respond.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll audition your network for one of the subjects we're going to talk about today is auditioning your network. I mean, you can spend, if you're a brand new business owner, count on the first 24 months being out there networking, auditioning for members of your network.
Wow.
Why don't we talk about that when we come back?
Auditioning
That's
for
what I-
your network.
Yeah.
We have got to touch on that. I'm going to hold you right there because when we come back, I absolutely want to get into that. Do you audition your network? I don't know. Do you audition for your network? When we come back, we'll talk about that. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by DirecTV with over 285 channels and NFL Sunday ticket packages start at just $29.99 a month. Sign up today at 888-344-9296. Don't go away. The education continues right after this.
Turn up the sales on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with anythinginternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz. Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for Coffee News. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's Coffee News.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Bertrand McHenry. Bertrand is the president of a company called Referral Institute of Houston.com. If you are in your small business, and you could definitely use more referrals, more qualified referrals, and a network of individuals who are working hard to make certain that you get qualified referrals, you make sure you want to reach out and touch Bertrand. You can do so through his website at referalinstituteofhouston.com. But Bertrand, do you mind if individuals contacted you through other forms of social media?
Yeah.
Why don't you? Do you have a Facebook, a LinkedIn?
Facebook.com/Referral Institute Houston.
Okay.
They can also find me on Twitter at Bertrand McHenry.
Twitter at Bertrand McHenry. Beautiful. Now, we went to break, and you were setting it up quite nicely.
Thank you, man.
And one of the things that you mentioned was auditioning your network. Now, I hope we're not taking you out of sequence too much here, but, we're just having fun with this today.
Absolutely. This is fun.
But when you say audition your network, now, I believe in something that's called the rule of 250. And quite honestly, that number may be more than 250. But I'm going to say that.
So it's $2.50?
Well, close. But I'm going to say 250 people.
Oh, 250 people.
So
okay, all right.
Every person in my network, I treat them as though they are the equivalent of 250 people. That's 250 spheres of influence.
Sure.
So, Irv, you're in my network.
Sure.
And I look at you as though you're 250 people. How I treat you, how I handle you is basically the equivalent of me handling those 250 people.
Absolutely.
Now, when you incorporate auditioning your network, tell me how I can sort of work that philosophy around what you're talking about.
I actually think 250 is low. You're right. That's the number that was told to me in the 80s when we started selling, was everyone knows 250 people. Don't tick anybody off, because they're going to go tell 250 people. Those people will tell some people. I actually think it's closer to 1,000. When we do the referral pipeline class, we talk about 1,000 people, but we bring it back to 500. We split it because it's at least 500. Look at people's Facebook pages, their databases. Now, if you're in business for yourself and you're not developing a list, you're not in business.
That's true.
You need to be developing a list.
And I have to say this before I'm going to cut you off. Even people that are on my Facebook page that I really don't even know, and I don't know why I have to say this, but I accept just about everyone as long as you're not posting something that's just against my moral and good personal beliefs. But there are some people that I may never say anything to them for 6 months as I watch their posts, and they make one post about a business, one post about something, and then immediately I respond. And now all of a sudden I've built a bridge to that person. So I can see where you say 500 with social media, where the advent of social media and all of that. Anyway,
it's shrunk the world down. But auditioning your network, I mean, that's a term that I feel like that's what I've done for the last 3 years is audition a network. And what I mean by that is I'm looking for specific people to do life with.
Sure.
And it can't just be anybody, because I've met thousands of people in the last 3 years, and most of them didn't make the cut as far as getting into my network of the people that I want to work with.
Right.
Now, I think that the studies are showing us that it's important to be wide as well, because if I'm wide, I got a lot to bring to my small network.
Sure.
I've got a lot of resources to bring to my small network. But for the people, because listen, we're going to be doing some work together. Pipeline class is a partner class. When I teach the pipeline class, you may be a participant in the Referrals for Life program. You've invited John to come and take the pipeline with you.
Sure.
Cost him nothing. You've paid for the class.
Sure.
And I'm going to teach this once a month. So you get 12 opportunities in a year to bring 12 potential partners into this class. So this class is 8 hours of setting up so that you can walk out of that class with some numbers attached to that relationship. So you can walk out going, all right, this relationship this year in 2013 is worth $25,000 to me. And we do the math, we work it through, we know exactly what we're doing. But to get to that point takes some work in the relationship area for him to even want to spend a whole day. Think about it. I have people at the beginning of Referrals for Life who say, I can't think of anybody who'd come give up 8 hours to come train with me.
Wow.
I know that's true because everybody you're thinking of, you're not in a relationship with.
Sure.
Oh, but I am. No, you're not.
Yeah, because they do it.
Because they would do it. Exactly right. If you're feeling like they wouldn't, then you're not in a relationship with them.
Sure.
So we got some work to go do,
sure.
which is fun. So let's go audition some people who respond to you well, who follow up on referrals that you give, whom you like, who gel with your personality and your lifestyle and your beliefs. You start to shape that up, and you develop a network that is hopefully diverse, but also reflects your values.
Sure. And you know, Bertrand, you said something really key right there. Talking about people to do life with.
Yes,
people to do life with.
I picked up on that
just
myself.
Jumped out at me. You know, I'm like, okay, it wasn't do business with, it wasn't do sales with, it was do life with. And a lot of times we talk about this on the show, John, is that, you know, entrepreneurship is really a lifestyle.
Yes.
It's how we live.
Right.
You know, we live as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, for the most part, you know, hey, we can't be fired necessarily.
No.
Which is kind of
other than by the customer.
Yeah, other than by the customer.
Yeah.
You know, well, if that's the case, you know, if you're really stinking it up, you could be fired 20 times a day. But the point is that for the most part, it's how we live.
Right.
And you're talking about literally auditioning people that you can live with.
Right.
Gotcha.
And that's on more than just a business level, though, it sounds like.
It is more than just well, think about the name. Referrals for Life is not just a steady stream of referrals for the rest of your life, but a lifestyle for your life.
Sure.
It's a referral lifestyle for your life. And when you think about the way we're teaching, the way I'm teaching, referrals becomes a lifestyle because I'm selecting for people that I want to do life with.
Sure.
Because business and life is rolled into one.
It's a team sport, isn't it?
It absolutely is. You can't, if you're an entrepreneur, hey, listen, you may not like people, but you're not going to build your business sitting in a cave.
Boy, that's true.
You're not going to, you cannot do it unless you have other people's help to do it. You just can't.
I have to ask, now, you have worked as a salesperson for large corporations. You've been out there with the attaché case knocking on doors.
Sales management, team development, right.
What was your aha moment? At what point did you realize that this is something that I want to take into my own organization, or this is something that I want to do for myself? I mean, did you go into sales with that mindset?
No.
Or did that sort of develop over years?
It developed. I'll tell you what, I mean, I was always, you've said it before, I'm a spirit person.
Right.
I've always been a feeling camaraderie guy. I've always loved being a part of teams when I was in high school and college. I loved that part of it. And then I got out in the real world, and it wasn't so much that.
That's right.
It was
a dog-eat-dog.
Yeah, it was a hired gun. It was a new set of skills, and I won repeatedly, but I didn't love it.
Yeah.
What I gravitated to was I would win, and then so that I could manage and mentor and train.
Sure.
It was something that I repeated over and over and over. I'd rise to the top, so I'd get promoted.
You were always gravitating to
I was always teaching. I was always training. I was always mentoring or coaching in some way. And so when I started to network and I started to find out about the power of networking, it was intriguing. You know, this group of people that you could build. It wasn't until I got around the concept of Referral Institute training where it's an actual system. Because you're entrepreneurs, we all understand your business is not going to grow until you have systems in place.
Boy,
if you don't have systems in place, if you're just winging it on a daily basis, you're never going to grow beyond your office in your house.
That's right.
You got to have some systems. And so who thought that referral marketing could be a system? But it can absolutely be a powerful system if you can master these core competencies and have a coach who stays on you week after week after week. You will develop that system that becomes a hard-edged economic driver. I say it over and over and over.
Yeah.
It's a hard-edged economic driver in your business, just like the sales funnel is, just like the sales forecasting sheet. It's the same thing with Referral Institute.
Now, one of the things that you talked about, that you listed on the things for us to discover or discuss today, was to discover your numbers and play to your strengths.
Right.
Now, what exactly does that mean?
That means that when I first started in sales was, I don't know about for you guys, but it took me a while to get the hang of sales.
Oh, it took me a long while.
And I failed a bunch.
I feared it. I tried my best to avoid it. All of those things, and then I do one thing that was good for my salesmanship or for me to build my pipeline, and then I do 2 or 3 things to just totally negate that,
Right.
So, I mean, it was a hard road to hoe.
I failed at it. I got fired from it.
I've been asked to leave a couple times.
Oh yeah,
myself,
it was a struggle. When it changed for me was when I realized, because I was operating under the assumption that there was this born salesman out there. There were guys in the office who seemed to it just happened.
It's in the genes.
Yeah, it's in the genes. When I discovered that the truth was, if you knew what your numbers were, if you knew what your closing ratio was on average, then you could back those statistics out to the front door and know how many cold calls you had to make. And it didn't matter. I didn't have to be attached to the outcome of any one cold call.
Right.
I just knew if I did 100 that week, I would make 10 sales.
Right.
Wow.
Just the numbers would work. And so that became a system. And that made me feel secure and safe.
That's right.
Because it wasn't about talent at that point. Right. It was about...
How long did it take you to figure that out, though?
Yesterday. This is brand new material for me, man.
Hallelujah.
Man, that's outstanding. You heard it here first.
Oh, man.
It probably took me, at least a good couple of years of bloodying my nose out there, if not longer.
And for me, it was being taken under the wing of someone else who helped me understand that this is just numbers. Once you put together a series of principles that you operate by, and you know that these principles work, you know that you can close at least 1 sale, well then you can close 10. But now you got to take more shots to get more kills.
Absolutely.
You got to shoot more shots to hit more baskets.
Right.
So when we come back, why don't we pick up on that?
Okay. Well, hey, do you know your numbers? And if not, why don't you know your numbers? And if you know your numbers, what do they mean? When we come back, we'll talk about that. You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by RingCentral.com. To get RingCentral's virtual PBX for your business, you can call them today at 888-716-5022. More in a moment.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at...
Excuse me, heavy news?
You know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is...
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
Free?
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have a clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash, I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today. Visit us on the web at cruzandhughes.com. Here are your hosts, Cruz and Hughes.
Okay, welcome back to the show. Our guest today is Mr. Bertrand McHenry. You can connect with Bertrand on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and Twitter. You can also go to his business website, which is www.referralinstituteofhouston.com. Now, at the break, I wrote a little quote that I want to read.
All right.
So please indulge me. You said something that brought this out of me. You said that sales is basically a team sport. You can't do it by yourself. Entrepreneurship is basically a team sport.
Right.
And it just brought me to thinking that no man becomes wealthy on just his efforts. I don't know who you could name me that has built true wealth on just the efforts of one. So no man becomes wealthy on just his efforts. True wealth is derived on the multiplied and compounded efforts of others.
Right.
So I think what you are teaching
I
is
like that.
incorporating. And these are my words. This is something that I just put together, but I was inspired by what you just said. And it means that the people that are in your network, they either serve you or they don't.
Right.
You either serve them or you don't.
Right.
And when I look at your training, it's basically, hey, let me show you how to get your network to serve you. What's better than that?
Right.
Yeah, well, the National Sales Association tells us that it takes to go from suspect to client 8 to 12 hours.
Not prospect.
Yeah, suspect. Suspect to client.
I love
takes
that.
8 to 12 hours of my time sitting down with you face to face or on the phone with you, talking to you on a regular basis. 8 to 12 hours of my time. Listen, if I've got 5 referral partners out there who are committed to me and I them, and they've got systems built into their weekly activity that support the growth of my business, and I know they're doing certain things every week for me, then I don't have to have my time. By the time I get a referral from them, is cut down to what, 20 minutes, 30 minutes?
Wow.
So you go from 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours to half an hour.
Wow.
Once you meet that person, and I've seen it happen time, and I have seen people walk in with a contract signed with the credit card numbers and said it's a done deal, but you do need to meet them next week before the class starts. But it's a done deal based on my relationship, and I know your business so well, I can sell it for you in the context of this relationship. That's huge.
That's
huge because we all need someone to champion our cause and pick up our banner and run with it,
and
don't we?
such a great job selling you that the person they buy sight unseen.
Right.
That's right.
I love that.
It doesn't that doesn't happen all the time, but the high level referrals happen a lot in Referral Institute graduates.
Now, I've heard you mention levels a couple of different times during the course of the show today, Bertrand. So tell me, when you say a high level, is that somebody who is a real advocate for you to the point that maybe they're bringing their credibility and reputation to bear on how that sales process is going to go for you, or am I missing the boat there?
No, I think I'm talking, when I say high level, I'm talking about the level of referral that person brings. They're trained to bring. And so we go levels 1 through level 10, and I always ask people, I'm not going to judge for you. You decide where you're going to start accepting referrals, because there may be some salespeople in here who will take a level 1.
Sure.
If you're going to give me a level 1, I got the skills. I'll go after it. I'll do that all day long. And you probably should if you can and want to. Some people will say, I'm only going to do it if you can set up a 3-way conversation on the phone with me and pass it off like that. And that's where I'm going to start giving those. I'm no longer going to give names and numbers
Sure.
as a referral because,
Sure.
we had an interesting situation at the Heights Cigar Lounge several months ago. There was a person that wanted to meet you when you showed up the first night, and I said, okay, let me walk you over. I introduced you.
Correct.
And this person then, I didn't know about this. She told me later she started to sell John on an idea about doing something.
Correct.
And remember I called you aside and I said, I just want you to know, I don't recommend that person. I don't refer that person.
Absolutely.
I just introduced you.
Absolutely.
Because I need to protect what I'm building.
Absolutely.
And I believe that also needs to be said, and I'm certain that you do spend time on that topic in your class, is that when you do recommend someone, you sometimes have to differentiate between someone that I'm bringing in on my credibility or just someone who said, hey, perfect instance of this on LinkedIn. I had a friend of mine who he sits in a high position for one of the big real estate firms here. I had 2 or 3 other guys all in the course of about a week ask me to make a personal introduction. Well, 2 of the guys, I refuse to do it at all because I don't know enough about you, your business, your product to feel comfortable saying, hey, and let's just say that it's you, Bertrand. Hey, Bertrand, this guy here, Joe Blow, wants to meet you. I got to know more about you before I can make that. But the 3rd guy, I ended up making the introduction, and he ended up doing business with the guy, but he's someone that I supported. So when I made the introduction, I told him, hey, this is someone that's been on my radio show. I've done business with this guy. He's a stand-up individual. I'm hoping that you see the same thing. Please, guys, get together. And it was a great relationship for them.
Sure.
Right. That's awesome. And I've had it go all different ways. I mean, there's all kinds of ways. I've had people come to me and say, hey, can you introduce me to this person? And my answer is, and this may be a great person in my network, but my answer is, I'm just at the beginning stages of this relationship, and I need to make this relationship first. I'm not going to bring you in until I've got something going. I don't know enough about them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And it's okay to say that.
It's totally okay.
I mean, and even the guys that connected with me on LinkedIn, I told them that, hey, I hope you can understand this, but all I am is my reputation. And I manage my reputation in terms of who I bring to the table. I have to manage that as though it's money, because the way I view it is it's capital.
Absolutely, it's capital.
It is capital. It is absolutely. When you look at the numbers and you look at what referral can do for you, it is capital. It is capital.
Absolutely. Now, let me ask you this, Bertrand, because this, and I almost hate to bring this up because this is all really good. What do you recommend a person do in the unlikely event that they do make a connection or a referral that really doesn't go well for whatever reason? Now, how do you get out of that, or how do you, or maybe you don't get out of it, but maybe how do you manage it where you can do damage control? What do you do? Because when you start talking about referrals, that thing can go the other way too.
Right. A really good friend of mine, Mike Macedonio, wrote a best-selling book called Truth or Delusion, and it was a series of questions around referral marketing. It would start off, truth or delusion. Referral marketing is the safest form of advertising there is. Most people will say truth, but it's a delusion for that reason, because every time you give a referral away, you are giving a little sliver of your reputation into the marketplace. So it is one of the most treacherous forms, but it's also the most potent form of advertising. So what I would say is it depends on what side of the referral you're talking about, the giver or the one being referred.
Sure.
The key is to jump on it early.
Yeah.
And own up to whatever, and just clean the slate. Whatever.
Don't avoid it.
Yeah, you could even. It goes a long way to say, you know what, I made a mistake on this one. I didn't know this person well enough. I just made a serious mistake. But the candidness is what's going to save you.
Sure, and one of the things you kind of touched on too was being proactive in this, because I was listening to you talking about the example with John, and you sort of got with John and sort of preempted anything that might have happened had it gone, not well. And really, I was listening to that thinking, man, what a value John must have felt by having you do that. He has to feel that he's valued by you.
Yeah.
Well, and I think he felt a little on the hook until I said that.
Absolutely.
He felt because of me,
Sure.
he felt like he needed to continue to have this conversation with this person until I said that, because his response was, "Okay, thank you. I know how to play it.
I know how to manage.
That's awesome. And boy,
exactly.
it's cool to have some players with you that know what to do. Folks, you're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. It's brought to you by the Lexington Law Firm. Listen, when you need credit help, you can get a free consultation today by calling 888-744-7081. Folks, stay with us. We're in the home stretch. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to improve your health and well-being? Have you lost your energy and vitality? Do you wake up feeling 10 years older than you actually are? Looking for a doctor who really listens? Looking for a natural alternative to your chronic health challenge? Dr. Dan Cooney is a chiropractic nutritionist who helps restore your health from the inside out using whole food supplements and specific nutritional counseling. Learn more about Dr. Dan's 7 Pillars of Health on his website, drdancooney.com, or give him a call at 713-295-9358.
Introducing the alternative to heavy news. Now at,
Excuse me, heavy news?
you know, disasters, politics, stock market.
And this alternative is
Coffee news. It's entertaining stories, famous quotes, and family fun. It's light news. Why it's so light, it's free.
free.
In restaurants and coffee shops all across Houston. So next time you're waiting in a restaurant, look for coffee news. If they don't have it, tell them to get it by visiting coffeenewshouston.com.
It's light. It's free. It's coffee news.
With my Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus headset, I'm free. Free to talk to you while carrying a laptop bag, holding a cup of coffee, and fishing for my car keys. Now, you may ask me, Jim, is it really necessary to use the phone while doing all these things? My answer is it really necessary not to? Plantronics Voyager Pro Plus. It's my so comfortable, why wouldn't I use it all day headset.
Get your Voyager Pro Plus at Plantronics.com.
Turn up the sales on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Anything Internet will evaluate your website for marketing power, for traffic, for conversion rates. We'll figure out why people buy and why people go away. We'll help you generate the correct traffic that will turn into customers and make you money. Turn the juice up on your website today with AnythingInternet.com. Turn your website into a web business. 1-800-686-5986.
Very often, people come to me saying,
Stephen, how do I make radio advertising work?
or even worse,
We've tried radio ads before and got little to no response.
so how do you make the radio work for you? Well, you could have clever jingle.
Come buy my stuff. Come buy my stuff.
Or you may act crazy and loud and have an unbeatable offer.
I'll save you cash. I'll save you time, and I'll do it today, guaranteed.
But these techniques may work for some and not for others. The real key to advertising is to go back to basic marketing principles. Target your ideal prospect, make your message clear and concise, and touch the listener by connecting to their needs. Stephen K. Media specializes in radio advertising promotion that effectively broadcasts your company's message, yielding higher response and better results. As an independent agency representing major talk radio stations, we help you negotiate rates and place your ads targeting your ideal prospect. Call us today at 713-278-9109 or visit stephenk.biz. That's 713-278-9109 or email info@stephenk.biz.
You're listening to Small Business Today with Cruz and Hughes. Follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. We're wherever you are.
Okay, welcome back to the show. We have had a great time here today. Our guest has been Mr. Bertrand McHenry. Bertrand is the president of a company called the Referral Institute of Houston. I encourage you to reach out to him. What your business does need is more referrals. You don't always need more loans. You don't always need more investment capital, but you do need more business. And Bertrand has a way of helping you understand how to build that business from your current network. I definitely encourage you guys to contact him. And again, his business website is the Referral Institute of Houston. Now, Bertrand, you're going to be here with us again tomorrow and again on Friday.
Surely.
And we're going to talk a little bit tomorrow about the entrepreneurial mindset.
Great.
And I want to get your thoughts, your philosophy on that. And let's sort of tie that in, Irv, with some of our experience.
Oh, I think that's going to be fantastic, man. Tomorrow you want to tune in because we're going to have Bertrand to help you understand what is wrong with your head. How cool will that be? And Bertrand is not a psychologist, okay?
That's right, but he plays one on
But he plays one on the radio. You can see us on the radio tomorrow.
Play one at home.
Oh, my goodness. Don't we all?
All right.
All right, but
our wives are listening.
But with that being said, we want to talk a little bit about the entrepreneurial mindset. What does it mean to be an entrepreneur? Because I do know that it can be very lonesome, and I definitely want to get your thoughts tomorrow. So I'm going to be looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
And guys, I think we've had a great show to start off the new year.
That was an excellent show. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, man.
You. Guys, we want to thank you also for tuning in to Small Business Today, which has been brought to you by Small Business Today Magazine. I want you to log on to smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com to get your free digital monthly subscription sent to your email inbox. The information is there for you. Make sure you go there, smallbusinesstodaymagazine.com. I'm John Cruz.
I'm Irv Hughes.
And this is the place where we discuss the topics that inspires entrepreneurs from thought to action. So until tomorrow, do a couple things for us. Be smart, be successful, and above all else,
be in action.
And Irv and I will see you tomorrow.